You're a numbers guy. You mentioned that you're a numbers guy, and you're talking about wanting to make sure you're at least better than 50% on the win ratio. So this leads me to the question, are you looking for a specific minimum risk reward ratio? Are you comfortable with a 1-to-1? Where do you like that to appear when you're selecting which trades to enter?
I do want a minimum of 1-to-1. I prefer at least 1.5 to 1. And if I can, a 2-to-1. That's the best. But for me to enter a trade, I have to at least have the 1-to-1. And the way the setups work and everything with the way the strategy and the ICT concepts, most of the trades are all going to be around that 1.5 to 2 anyways, where I can target.
Right.
The issue in the beginning too, because I was taught with the sniper system, of course, you're only trading, you're looking for very small trades.
Right.
Then you can graduate into simplicity, which they teach as well, and you can get bigger trades. But it was very hard for me to go from 9-tick winners to 20-tick winners, and then anything bigger to hold those. I'm sitting there, I don't want to, do I get out? So a lot of these trades, I can get that 1.5 to 2 or more. Sometimes I still go for what he refers to as the low-hanging fruit, because I don't like to really sit there forever. And so now my winners usually range from 35 to 60 points, but they usually happen pretty quick. But yes, I do prefer minimum 1-to-1. I don't, and that's for mainly my discipline's sake, because if I do take a loss, for example, today I took a loss, well, I know if I get a win tomorrow or the next win that I get, it'll make up for that loss and then some.
Sure.
So that helps my discipline a lot.
And that's a fantastic point. I know when I made that transition, 9 ticks usually would happen within a matter of seconds, 9 or 21, depending on which side of it we were. And so when I started to look for bigger trades that might keep me in a trade for 5 minutes, heaven forbid, right? I got to the point where I started to realize I had this level of anxiety of being in a trade. Right. And I had to fight my way through that. I actually came up with a little trick. I got some little, I think I mentioned this before. I got some little juggling balls so that I could sit there and keep my mind and my hands busy, and it would relieve that anxiety. Now I've gotten to the point where I'm in trades for minutes, half hour, something like that, and I don't feel that same thing. But that transitional period was definitely a struggle for me, as it was outside of what had been my norm. And I think that's something that a lot of traders experience as they're making adjustments and tweaks, because every dynamic shift creates a potential challenge. And finding the way through that is I think, incredibly valuable.